Right. Welcome to Module 2, Hands-on Market Analysis with Airtable and Redfin. In this session, we're diving into the practical side of market research. We'll use Pima County, Arizona as our case study to understand market dynamics and identify investment opportunities. This hands-on approach will give you a real feel for the land investing market. If you guys have already watched the other slides and I've got into these, this is kind of the process. I'm making these modules and then remaking them with AI, but I'm just going to knock them out like this, and then we'll slowly kind of turn everything into like a faceless thing. But you guys know me. This is fine. Yeah. All right. So I am working off of a script here, but I will go away from that a bit. So let's begin by setting up our workspace in Airtable. So I use the Airtable desktop application. You can totally just use the website. They have a mobile app too. You can just do this on your phone. So let's begin by setting up a workspace in Airtable. Airtable combines the simplicity of spreadsheet with the power of a database. We'll create a markets table where we'll add Pima County as our first market. This table will serve as our dashboard for tracking market data over various time frames. I've made this database, feels like 1,000 times now, but let's get into it. So this is me, but we can just create a base. We'll start from scratch. Do this in API Mafia. I've played with this a little bit yet, but I'm not sure if any of these are ideal for our use case here. But they're adding cool features. Bootcamp market analysis template. I use Pro, so I get extra colors. I'll just make this. I'm not mad at that. Meet me in the middle, right? Okay, so we'll create a markets table. So this is a markets table. Instead of, you can change these to just be records. This is the standard one. So we'll just leave it at market for now, though. It's fine. I like to do this market nickname because I'm going to type Pima County in here, but the amount of times that this is going to come up, this is fine for right now. You can just call this a market name, whatever is fine. Notes, we'll need that. Assignee, this could be useful at some point if you're working with a team, so you can leave that. The status, what statuses do they give us? To do, in progress, done, that's actually fine. So we will create some more fields here. Let me try to stick to the script a little bit. Cool, so we set Pima County as our first market. And in market research, certain metrics are key to understanding market health. These include inventory levels, sales data over time, like 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, 1 year, etc., and the under contract rate. Today, we'll learn how to track and analyze these metrics to gauge market performance. So that's for the market as a whole. We're going to have an inventory. So this is going to be a number field. We don't need any decimals. Inventory. All that doesn't matter. Okay. We'll also need another number field for under contract. And because it keeps defining the decimal, it's going to be easier to just right click and duplicate this field every time we do this. So now so the inventory is going to give us, how many properties are currently on the market, like available for sale. This is going to tell us how many are under contract. And then this one is going to tell us sold 1 month. They even go down to 1 week, but that data never really did me any good other than shopping, which you'll find later. There'll be a module and more details on that later. Sold 1 month, okay. And we'll duplicate this again. We can refer to Redfin here. I keep looking at the keyboard like I don't know where the P key is. So let's look at Pima County. This will kind of give you a heads up on what we're doing here. We want sold 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, year, okay? Sold 3 months. I'm going to duplicate this a few times. I lost count, but I've got 7. Sold 6 months. Sold 1 year. Sold 2 years. Sold 3 years. And they don't do 4, it's just 5 years. Now the 3 and 5 year aren't that helpful. So you can add them to be thorough. I'm going to leave them in this database just to be thorough, but I often don't get into those unless I have like unanswered questions. And then here, let's just edit this field. And this is actually going to be a under contract rate. I always call this UCR. I'll make this the description and change this to UCR. In case you guys are ever submitting templates to me, that'll match up better with my database. And this is going to be a formula field. What do I want? Formula down here at the bottom. Now this is going to be under contract. Formulas are pretty easy in Airtable if you're doing a simple equation. Divided by inventory. And we're going to do the same down the line. I can actually just delete this one. I'm going to duplicate the field. I'm just going to do this twice right now because I feel like I'm always backwards on on this equation, but I'm pretty sure this is right. Then we want sell through rate. So this is a way to measure the absorption rate, which is like how fast are properties selling in this market. So save that. Now, let's go back to the script. Next, we'll create a properties table. This is where the magic happens. In this table, we'll add key details for each property: acreage, list price, sale price, list and sale dates, and listing status. The detailed data will help us understand what's selling and what's not. Okay, so we create just a, what does this drop down do? Oh, and we can add a table here. I feel like that's new. It's useful though. My other database has, I think, 22 tables. But anyway, we're just gonna create a blank table. Call this properties. I think notes, assignee, and status are all, again, going to be useful fields, possibly at some point. So I'm just going to leave these as is. Now I'm realizing another useful field back here. So if I go to notes, I'm going to insert left. So it's going to create another column to the left of notes, because I want this right by the market nickname. I want a URL. Okay. The property name is not super useful, but we'll leave this here. It'll serve as a ID field at some point. So we want to insert left, a URL field, create field, just URL is fine. We're going to duplicate this well, no, it's okay. We'll just create the linked record. So link to another record is going to create a linkage here. So allow linking in multiple records. Yes, we want to have multiple properties within one market. I don't care about limiting the record selection to a view. The default name is fine. I don't want any lookup fields right now. We can add those later. We'll create more formulas. Properties. We're going to want acreage. That's going to be a number. This is usually 2 decimal places. And then we want they separate currency and number fields in Airtable, which is pretty nice. Okay, oh, that's fine. We're going to call this one list price. Now, I'm pretty sure in this county, sometimes you get it, but sometimes you don't. They don't. It has to do with the. I'm blanking on the word for it. It's such a common word I use. But we don't always get the list price in Pima County. Disclosure. I think it has something to do with the disclosure, but sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. Now that I'm saying that out loud, I've noticed like you'll see the list price for like years ago, like what was it listed for? So maybe they've just like changed the law. Yeah, it's real estate. MLS data is like heavily regulated. Well, it's regulated. So we want a list price, a sold price, we want a list date. Edit that field. I messed up, so we just create a date field. Save. We'll do another date field for sold dates. And then we want another date field. No, not another date field. This is going to be a formula field for days on market. I'm looking for formula. I can't remember if this, we'll try. So we want sold date. Oh my gosh. Minus list date. Cool. We'll see if that works, but I think that should work. Oh, which reminds me, in these formulas, I need to specify the formatting for it because it's just going to spit out a number. I want this to give me a percentage. And I also want this one to give me a percentage. We're going to create another view here. I don't think this is in the script, but my brain likes a gallery view. So that's fine. We're going to create a new view. So we'll have a gallery, and we can look at Pima County in this manner. So it doesn't matter. It's still the same information. I'm going to plug details in here, and we'll go back at the end, and you'll see that it works the same in the table. So we want to see specifically, okay, we're back at Pima County. What are the filters I have here? Sold. Oh, let's see for sale, but I specifically want to look for land. So make sure you're always setting this to land. This should have been the first thing I told you. But every time you type in a market, it'll reset. So you'll get used to it. You'll start seeing comps that are houses. You're like, what the heck? Okay, so let's see, 688 homes. So that's a good number for me to copy. But also, first things first, I'm going to copy this URL and drop it here. I want this number. The inventory is, well, let's set our status to in progress. Inventory 688. These are useful when you're working with the team. This as well. Let's hide these fields again. All right. So now we're going to see how many are under contract right now. So I'm going to add this. This could be some simple math for you. Sometimes it'll just give you a number right there, but we're going to do this. You got to do this slow. Well, I find that I have to do it slow, maybe because my computer is busy, but that's what we got. Sometimes these don't work. This same process will work on Redfin as well. I feel like something to note here is that most of the activity seems to be happening to the right of the reservation. So we can add that in the notes here. See, it populates here. Now I want to see, oh, well, what was the number? 97. Let's make sure our formula is healthy. This is something over 10%. Probably looks like 15%. So let's see if that gave us a good number. 14%. Look at that. Okay, so we're going to see sold 1 month. It defaults to 3. Now we see a sale over here, but not. So it's not going to make much sense if we're sending offers. It's not going to make much sense to send offers to the whole county. We'll be able to use a polygon tool, and you can use a polygon tool in here with this draw button, but we're not going to do that right now. Well, I'm probably not going to make a video about how to do that because for the polygon tool it uses a lot of compute, I think, and it always glitches when I'm recording a video. But yeah, okay, sold in the past month. We see 82. I'll just copy and paste this for ease. Go back to my gallery. See sold in the past month, 82. Now I want to see 3 months. I'm going to start moving here. Okay. So you see at 3 months, there was 303. So that means in 1 month, it should be 101. So there's less sales in the past month, which is interesting. It's winter here. But yeah, a bit of a drop off there in the sell-through rate. So it's something to make note of. We see some more sales over here in Aho. Maybe it's Aho. Now 6 months, 650. So again, a bit of a drop off, but not as steep, I don't think. Somebody help me with a formula to actually measure that thing. So we're at 650. I dropped that in there, right? Yep. Okay, so now our next is 1 year. Two years. Since we're doing it, we'll just knock them all out. So you see a big drop off in 2 years versus 1 year. This should be twice as much as this. 1 year is about twice as much as 6 months. So it's been pretty steady, this year. You would expect some fluctuation in the year due to like a seasonal market. Pima County is very hot, but that isn't really represented well here. It's not hot enough to stop people from moving, and it's not really a rural. It's like kind of borderline rural residential out here, I'd call it. But when you're looking at rural properties in the Northeast, you'll definitely see a fluctuation throughout the year, just because on rural properties especially. Cool. So what are we looking at? All right, 2 years, 3 years. See, it didn't it did stick. Oh, interesting. It was giving me 3-year data on the 2-year. So actually, just for ease, I'm going to put this here. X. All right, so it is fairly consistent. So yeah, you gotta not trust this shit sometimes, or give it a moment. Give me that number. All right, it's cool. Now we're done with the old data. Let's duplicate the sell-through rate 1 month. Let's do that a couple times here. So if you are a visual learner, you don't need to build this. For me, I really gotta be, it's called tactile learning. Yeah, I gotta be doing it to learn it. So if it helps, follow along and build your own database just so you know what's going on. But if you understand what's going on, I'm going to post this as a template. You'll find it in the description below the video, probably elsewhere. I'll put some resources together for the course. I'm going to edit this field. I can't just do it like that. It's fine. Be careful with that though. It gets a little hecky. There we go. I feel PM. I did that out of order. Let's just delete this field. 1 month, 3 month field. We'll do 6 months. Change this. Edit field. 1 year. I can just change that here. That's all I'm going to do for this video. That's probably all I'm going to do for this template. Give you guys some like hands-on using these formulas. So if you do want to extend the formulas outside of what they're doing, when you do, there's going to be, I don't have it here, but there will be, I think up here, there will be a copy base, probably where the share is. You'll just be able to copy base and it'll copy it into your own Airtable database. Let's see what we got. We got some good information. We'll just assign this to me so we're full. All right, now it's time to add some properties in the mix. So I'm going to add a property right through here. You can also just do it through the table. Okay, I can use this. I can use this property. You see it's relating over here to the properties database. What I'm going to do is just grab one of these. Actually, I should be in a reasonable time frame. Definitely the last year. But we can just go for sale. You want to grab some for sale. I would say get a dozen of each to kind of get a feel. Get a dozen for sale. Get a dozen sold. Maybe like 20 when you're just starting out. This is about repetitions. Sorry, if I got quiet there. I don't know why this moved so much. Sorry, I took a little break there. Get this one up. Oh, my mic stand is failing. Damn, you're really weak, huh? Sorry, technical difficulties. We'll edit that in post. Right. All right. So get like, 10 to 20 for sale, 10 to 20 sold, and all of the ones under contract. And that will give you'll start to get a good understanding of how the market is performing. So let's just grab the first one. For sale, there's 688 homes for sale. So this is a very large market to kind of grab. Brings me to another point. Let's go back to the grid. Here, we want to insert right, a single select market type. I can't remember if I'm set to do this in another video, but actually we like color coding. It's cute. We have different ways we can look at markets. We can look at an entire county. We can look at a zip code. So I just call that a zip. But between a zip code and a county would be like a region. Then we have a zip. And then I have a neighborhood or a subdivision. So the neighborhood and regions aren't easily defined by a computer. So that takes like just some, I don't want to say like, I guess intuition. Oh, sorry about that. So this is a county. When you're looking at a county, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do this, but you'll get the idea to actually go into individual properties. What you'd want to do is maybe check out like this section of 115, right? But we're just gonna, for the sake of the exercise, we're gonna do this. Do this property. We've already done that, I think. No. Okay, so I have a URL. Come back to our properties. Assignee, don't need to worry about the status or anything like that. The acreage, 4.86. Okay. The list price here. Now this is for sale, so reminds me to add another type field. We'll do that here in properties. So let's come back into properties. Market status, single select. We have for sale, under contract, sold. You can change these colors. I guess green should be sold, under contract, it's something like yellow, right? Oh, create the field. So this one is specifically for sale. We can create another gallery view. I guess isn't going to do us a whole lot of good right here. My dishwasher. We don't have sold price. Do we have a list date? Yeah, we should have a list date. It was just listed. Where is this? For the sake of the matter, let's do this zip code as well. I'm going to throw this in as another market. We'll do this later. It's fine. You see why I like to call it market nickname, because keeping track of that is a little diffy. My type of deal. Something you could also do is keep track of the agents that are on these properties, but there's another tool that kind of does that for you. Priced offers it. I think somebody else made a pretty similar tool. Yeah, you can get sale and tax history a bit further. So it was listed today. We should be able to just copy and paste this into here. Again, we'll go back to our property. Okay. Maybe it just works in the table. It's kind of annoying. There is another way to do this the days on market formula. So it will give a rolling count. So tomorrow that days on market would be 1 because there's no sold date. I have it in my other database. I'll copy it over. So it'll be available in the template that you guys get, but we're going on like 40 minutes here. So I'm gonna try to wrap this up. Let's just go to under contract. Get another one. Get the URL. Oh, I want to add another one. We'll just use one of the ones that were already filled in for us. So URL, market status is under contract. What was that acreage? 1.6. Beautiful lot. Also, it's only green. Only that green for like 5 minutes out of the year. 1.64. And the sold price, let's see if we have the list price versus the sold price. Okay, cool. So it was listed for $225. Sold price $200 flat. This is actually you can just expand these instead of jumping into the gallery view first. These are often different. Make this a currency. The under contract rate versus the actual sales price. So it's worth noting. That's about 10%. That's pretty standard. It's like 11%, right? 11.5%. No, 11.2. Someone check my math. I guess we could just make a formula for it, but we don't need to worry about that. That would be a useful formula now that I think about it. List date. We had that. Yes, we had that. Okay, so the list date is going to be July 13th. Just might as well just do it like this. And then we want another one. this field. Under contract date. It is sold. It was pending again. Something happened here. So we're technically pending. This is kind of a weird example, but so it did actually close. They're pending another sale. It's odd. It's been pending since August. This must be some error, but I'm going to continue and error in so if you're really into this comp, you know, I guess it's kind of worth looking into, but we can see, what was it, August 15th? August, I mean, it took a month. Oh, it was August 1st, and then, so it took 2 weeks. And then it was sold, but it's still pending. So it's pending as of August 15th because the sold pending. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, not a great example. So we'll do one more. Then we went sold listings. You can just close these out. Let's see sold. Last 3 months is fine. I'd rather have something with a picture, to be quite honest. Maybe they all have pictures. Ore Valley's nice. All right, so we have a URL. That's our first stop, right? Market status, sold. Okay, we can come back to acreage. We have a sold price, but we can just jump to the sale and tax history to make sure we're on point. Okay, it was listed on November 2nd for $380, and then it sold in a week for $380. Holy smokes. Well, we know it's $380. $380. Oh, whoops. List date, I think it was November 2nd, and then sold November 9th. Or was that the under contract date? It was just sold. It doesn't say that it went under contract. That may or may not be true. I'm not sure what's going on. They give us the APN here if we ever needed the APN. It's a good way to identify a property, actually. So we'll say APN is really the best way to identify a property. The only way. It's the APN stands for Assessor's Parcel Number. So we get a days on market. We don't get a days on market. So I'll fix this. We need another field. We need a price per acre. Again, this is a formula field. It's pretty straightforward formula. So we want we'll call this sold price per acre. You could do a list price per acre. So we want sold price divided by acreage. No bars. I want to display, oh shit. Edit the formula. I always forget to do this. Formatting, decimal places. Now I want to display this as a currency. So yeah, it was 1.5 acres, brings about $250 an acre. So if you start looking at just Oro Valley, you can figure out what the and then again I can take this one that I just got, add to Oro Valley. You can start defining a price per acre for Oro Valley. Price per acre on the whole county isn't going to do you a whole lot of good unless it's like very, very rural and not a lot of action. Which reminds me here, so we can relate the same property to multiple markets. So this under contract one was from this zip code. This is a region of, I think it's town, I don't know if it's a town or a city or what. I guess it's a city. But I think it's still in Tucson. It's fine. All right. So I'm going to come back to my notes here and make sure we're not missing anything. Linking markets and properties. Hands-on analysis with Redfin. Now it's time to collect the data. We'll use Redfin to find real properties in Pima County as we add to our Airtable. Think like an investor. Look at each property and ask yourself, why is this property selling or not selling? What does this tell me about the market? Yeah, that's a good point. That's what the notes, that's a good one. I wrote it. Good point. Yeah, use the notes section to your advantage. Just, you know, we think that we're going to remember something, and once we start looking at like hundreds of these properties, we really don't. With your data in place, let's analyze. We'll focus on performance indicators like sell-through rates, under contract rates, price per acre as a whole will be good too. So what we want here is called a roll-up field, I'm pretty sure. We want a roll-up of properties, price per acre. Oh, you gotta spell it out. All right, so as you add more, interesting that I didn't do it for this one. We'll figure that out. But yeah, as you add more, it'll just average out all the price per acre that you collected. Another indicator that we can add here is going to be insert right want a number, minimum acreage. Field, you can just duplicate that. max acreage. You can also do like sold price, but these are filters that you can add that will be useful in your journey. As we wrap up this module, remember, getting granular and obsessed with the data is key in land investing. So now you've taken your first real steps into understanding a market through hands-on analysis. Next, we'll explore how price research can streamline and enhance this process.